Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we'll be looking at wiring up a point motor and also wiring up the point itself. You'll need three main components. First of all, it's the point, which you should always recognise what a point is. Next thing is the point motor itself, which is just over here, and also you need a capacitor discharge unit, which basically powers for up to about 4 points depending on the brand which you've got. And put it simply, using a switch, you can use a point motor to switch a point backwards and forwards, quite like that. So I'll show you how that works. But to wire up a point frog, so you can wire an electrofrog point, because into the frog you don't need to wire up whatsoever. Unifrog, I'm not entirely sure of. I'm still learning about the unifrog ones. As far as I know, unifrog, if it's a DC setup, you don't have to do any wiring. If it's a DC setup, you do have to do a bit of wiring. I'm not entirely sure. But for a electrofrog point, which is what this one is, you know it's an electrofrog point because pretty much the frog itself is mostly metal. For insular frog one, it's there's a plastic more here and there. But to wire up a insular frog point, not insular frog, electrofrog point, you basically have a little wire on the back of it which connects to the frog itself, and you basically tweeze that out, maybe a bit fiddly, and just solder a wire onto there so you can connect it to the point motor. And for more complicated points, like a three-way point, basically just think of it as 2 points layered on top of each other. So you got one point here which branches off that way, so your frog will be, let's try and work out where it is, it'll be here. And then you've got another point here which branches off that way, and that frog's up here, and that's replicated on the back here. Unfortunately it is a bit messy because this is a salvaged one. So for the bottom point, the wire which you want to wire up is down here, and for the top point it's wiring up here. So this is a salvaged one, so it's a bit damaged and I need to repair that. Now for a for a double point like this, a double slip and a single slip, that's what I was getting. It's basically two points laid on top of each other but reversed. Ooh, getting the wire stuck there. So for this switch, the frog for this one is actually over here, and vice versa for this way. So you need to basically keep that in mind when you're wiring it all in. So this wire over here controls the it's basically the frog wiring for this one and vice versa. So that's all you have to think about really. But yes, the main thing which we have to look at now is wiring up the actual point motor itself. I've just put up the wiring diagram for the Gaugemaster SEEP PM1 point motor. There are other brands available, but this is the one which I use because they're fairly cheap, and if you break them, like I've done many times, it's only enough of £5. So this is the one which I'll be showing you today. And it's got 6 contacts, sorry, and they are all on one side of the point motor itself. I'll just show you that a bit more. Just quickly show you that as we're going through them. So you got A, C, D, E, F and B over here. The reason why B is over here is because it just to match with A, that's where you're actually wiring in the switch. So A and B are for connecting to the switch, C connects to the capacitor discharge unit, D and E connect to your normal power supply, that's the power supply which connects to the track, because that will be powering F, which connects to your frog. And as you can see, I've wired them all up already. And yeah, the next component we'll have a look at is the capacitor discharge unit. First two connecting ports, you wire it into either the point motor or the switch, because can't remember which one is what's now. I think the top one is for the capacitor discharge unit 0, so that connects to the point motors, and the positive, which is the purple one, which I've got a coloured purple wire, that connects to the switch. And then the lower two ports connect to the separate power supply for the capacitor discharge unit. I say separate, I'm actually powering it by a normal power supply. You can power it via the same power supply as your trains, however I would recommend getting a separate power supply for it. So this is how we wire it up. I'll leave the pointer till last, and that's why I've got my wire here. So you connect B to one of the, where is it? There we go. You connect it to one of the sides of the these I think it's single pole double throw or something like that. I will double check which type of switches they are. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the bottom. See if that single throw. I'll write down what they are. I can't actually remember. But yeah, you connect B and A to either side of the switch because it's a free connection switch. So you connect that like so. Normally you'd have longer wires, and I try to make this so it's easier to do, but yeah, there we go. Right. Connect A and B to the switch like so. Then connect the middle terminal of the switch to the capacitor discharge unit. So I'm connecting my two purple wires. It's always nice to have colour-coded wires, so then you don't get mixed up. So that's all the switch connected, and then you finally connect the connect F, which is the frog's feed switch, to the frog itself. And I'm not going to bother connecting up the other two because it's a bit too more fiddly. And that's basically it for a single point. If you have a switching over setup, that basically if you want to switch from this one to this one, basically switch from this line to this line using only a single switch, you need to run them in series and basically have two point motors connected to the same switch, and you basically connect both the A's and B's together to the switch. Depending on how you set up the point motors, you may need to flip them around, so A connects to B and B connects to A, and then they all connect to the switch on the same two terminals. So it does. I'll set up a I have got a diagram which shows how to do that, so I'll save that up as well. Anyway, let's test out if I've done this properly. I did test out beforehand, but then I decided to take it all apart. So I'm just turning up the power on my power supply, and there we go. It's a bit loud because it's on this bit of wood, and that's pretty much it really. Now, I said for capacitor discharge units, do read the instructions, but generally they will power about 4 points. So before I have to worry about getting enough on these, I'll just need to control 4 points. And for the purple wire which I've got here, which always connects to the capacitor discharge unit, you can basically connect up to 4 switches to the same wire and run them in series as well. Basically, it saves you doing too many wires all going into the same terminal. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. And that's it. Just a quick edit to add. Do remember that this is a high voltage power supply. If you're unsure about playing around with high voltage power supplies, don't bother messing around with these, just to be on the safe side. If you're a young modeler who's interested in fitting point motors to your layout, do remember to get adult supervision to help supervise you. And if you want to discharge a capacitor discharge unit, just to be on the safe side, just use the switch attached to the point motor and basically keep flicking it back and forth till the point motor stops moving. Then you know that this no longer has any power. Anyway, back to whatever I was on about. Whichever brand, do read the instructions, because they will tell you how to wire it up, and it's generally not all that difficult. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video. It's going to be a little short one, but it's just so newbies who might visit my channel how to wire these up. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and also the other things that YouTube allows you to do. And if not, I hope you enjoy your day. So yeah, I'll see you again next time. Take care now. Bye bye. See. No, that's not quick enough to do. Wave. Bye bye.